Hello there. My name is Erica Swaringen Blankency, and I am the president of the Frances Ellen Watkins Harper Collaborative Club of the National Association of Colored Women's Clubs Incorporated. Our phenomenal organization was founded in 1896, making us the oldest Black women's organization. It is with esteemed pleasure that I invite you to join us for our first annual Holidays in Black reading series. It is during this event that we will promote literacy amongst children in grades kindergarten through 4th and their families throughout the holiday season. So below in the description box, you know you're going to find all of the good stuff. You're going to find a link to all of our social media pages, a link to donate to us, and for our special guests if they have a link as well. Again, I invite you to sit back, relax, grab your book and grab your favorite blanket and come read with us. We'll show you what a few can do as we lift, as we climb. Thank you. Bye.
Hi, my name is Rakia Phillips. I am a junior biology major at Fisk University, and I am also a member of the National Association of Colored Women's Club at Fisk University Life Chapter. And I'm going to be reading to you Keena's Ford and the Second Grade Mix-Up by Melissa Thompson, and the pictures are by Frank Morrison. So let's begin. The Big Birthday Mix-Up. Excuse me, ladies, I am very excited to report that we have a class birthday tomorrow, September the 2nd. Keena Ford will be the first student to wear our special birthday crown. Then she looked at me and smiled. Keena, I hope you like chocolate cake, she said. I tried to open my mouth to tell Miss Campbell that there must be some kind of mistake. My birthday is February 9th, but I thought about that birthday crown, and I thought about the cake. I love my birthday cake almost as much as I love pudding pie. So when I opened my mouth, this is what came out. Yes, Miss Campbell, I love chocolate cake. Alrighty. So we have a picture here. And let's get started. Wednesday, August 25th, 4:30 p.m. I'm Keena, and I am the most important person in this journal because it's my journal. But there are some other important people too, like my mom, my brother, Brian. I live with him in our apartment in Washington, D.C. Brian is starting middle school, and he thinks he is so cool, but he still sleeps with his blankie. I haven't told his friends yet. I'm waiting for the perfect time. My dad is really important too. He lives in Maryland, and I visit him on weekends. He has a bald head and a fish named Henry. Someone else who is important is my very best friend, Eric. He and his dad live in our building in an apartment right above ours. This other girl in our building, Tiffany Harris, says I can't be best friends with a boy. But what does she know? I tried being friends with her, but all we did was have stupid tea parties. And her tea tastes like wet paper bags. Ugh. I guess I should write down that Mr. Lemon is important too. He teaches time out. It's the class where you go if you broke a rule by mistake. You go there when the other kids go outside too. Play after lunch. Mr. Lemon and I spent a lot of time together. I think I will probably write about some other people, but they won't be as important as the ones I already said. My mom got me this journal because I behaved myself at the doctor's office this afternoon. It was my back to school checkup, and I had to get one shot. I cried, but I didn't pinch anyone. At the doctor's office, the nurse is allowed to stick you with needles, but you are not allowed to pinch. I learned this last year when I had to get a shot. The nurse said, this would feel like a pinch for just a second. And I said, yow, because it hurt. And for a long time, and I said, that did not pinch for just a second. And it pinched for a very long time. She just looked at me, and I showed her what I was talking about. I grabbed her arm and pinched hard, just so she would know that it really felt like. Instead of telling kids it will only be a pinch for a second, then I learned that you never, ever pinch or you get in big trouble. Last year, I did not get a journal. But this year, I was very good. So my mom let me pick out my journal myself. She said writing a journal is a great idea because I can get my feelings out without yelling or pinching. And I can write down the things that you are not supposed to say out loud, like, Brian just passed gas. I just say a lot of things that you're not supposed to say out loud. I think I'll have a lot to write in my new journal. I'm a very good writer for my age. My teacher last year told me that. She also said that if I spent more time writing and less time worrying about other people's business, then I could be famous writer someday. But if I don't pay attention to other people's business, what would I write about? My mom bought me a dictionary to go with my journal so I could spell big words. Already I had to look up attention, worrying, and business. But I didn't have to look up dictionary because it's right in front of the dictionary. Isn't it handy? Thursday, August 26th, 4 p.m. Look, so far I have been writing in my journal every day. I knew I would have a lot to write down. Today was a big day because it's the last morning at camp for Eric and me. Last night, Eric called me and sounded very mysterious. He said, "Be sure to wear your camp t-shirt tomorrow." "But Mondays are camp t-shirt days," I said. "Tomorrow is Wacky Thursday." I had already picked out my final Wacky Thursday outfit. I was going to wear what I wore for Halloween last year. I was a cat who was also a princess and also a witch. "Just please wear your t-shirt, Keena. I will explain the plan tomorrow," Eric said. "Or you can explain it right now," I said. "What's that, Keena?" "I can't hear you. I think we're going to go through a tunnel." And then I heard a clicking sound as he hung up the phone. I knew that sometimes when people drive through tunnels, their phones stop working. But there is no tunnel in Eric's apartment, unless you count the time where we tried to dig a tunnel to my apartment through a loose floor tile. We got in big trouble for that one. I thought about not wearing my t-shirt to show Eric he's not the boss of me, but I was too curious to see what he had planned. So when Eric arrived this morning, I was wearing my t-shirt and my cat ears. I opened the door to see Eric in his t-shirt, hiding something behind his back. "Ta-da!" he said, and held out 2 permanent markers. "Huh?" I said. "When we get to camp, we'll get everyone to sign our t-shirts with the permanent marker. Then we'll always remember our friends from camp." Eric seemed very excited. I tried to act excited too, because even if Eric's great ideas aren't that great, he is my very best friend. "Okay," I said. I was thinking to myself, what's so great about 2 old markers? But at least I had my cat ears. You know what, though? Eric's idea was really good. We got all of the other kids and even the counselors to sign our t-shirts. Everyone else wished they had worn their camp t-shirts too. It was lots of fun with only one problem. The problem was that the ink went through the shirt and onto my skin in some places, so it says Nancy on my arm, Leonda on my stomach. I can't kind of seem to wash it off. I'm not sure my mom can fix it with a little scrubbing once I show her. 7 p.m. Every day after camp, Eric and I have been working on that playhouse. Well, it's not really a playhouse. We call it a homework hut. It's a place for us to sit and work on our homework. Once we are in the 2nd grade. 2nd grade has lots of homework, so Eric and I need a pretty quiet place to work on all of it. And since we know for sure that we will be in the same class, it makes sense for us to work together. We have a big box for my mom's new refrigerator. Eric got 2 old pillows. That would be our seats. I've been painting the homework hut. We keep it on the balcony behind my apartment. We cover it with plastic bags every night. It looks really, really cool. It was going to be so fun to do our homework in the homework hut. I think 2nd grade is going to be the best year ever. Friday, August 27th, 8 p.m. Today was the worst day ever. Last night, I forgot to put the cover on the homework hut. Mom called me to set the table when I was about to cover the hut. I knew she had made pudding pie, and that is my favorite dessert. So I didn't want to make her mad by not setting the table right away. Then she might say, "No pudding pie for you, Keena Ford." So I got my pudding pie, but I ruined the homework hut. We had a thunderstorm, and the whole thing is wet. It's bad, really, really bad. The paint dripped all down the side, and now it looks like it says, "Hork who." But what is that not even the most awful thing that's happened today? Here's the most awful thing. Eric and I are not going to be in the same class. I got a letter from school today. The school principal. At first, I was afraid that maybe she had found out that I was the one who got jump rope stuck in Mr. Lemon's DVD player by mistake. But the letter wasn't about Mr. Lemon's DVD player. It was about Eric and me not being in the same class for sure. Know why? Because Eric's a boy and I'm a girl. That's right. Our principal's putting boys and girls in different classes. I hope this doesn't mean my classroom will have to be a lot of pink. There's no reason to even fix the homework hut. Saturday, August 28th at 8:30 a.m. I am watching cartoons with Brian while we are working for Dad to pick us up to go to Maryland. We watch 2 cartoons every Saturday morning. The first cartoon is about machines that fight for no reason, and the second cartoon is about funny animals on the farm. You have to watch one stupid cartoon before you get to watch a good cartoon. It's called Compromise. 6:30 p.m. I am at Dad's house. Brian is playing with his friend Marilyn Johnson. I call him Maryland Jason because Brian has another friend named Jason in DC. Brian says not to say Maryland Jason because it sounds dumb. And he always says not to call it playing because once you're older, you just call it hanging out. Since Brian went to Maryland Jason's, that means I got to talk to Dad alone. When I told him I was going to be in the class with a bunch of girls, he just smiled at me like it was funny. And I said, "It's not funny. How would you like to be covered in pink and drinking paper bag tea every day?" Then he looked at me like I was a little bit crazy. And he said, "Maybe we should go out for coffee and talk about it." Going out for coffee with Dad is pretty much my favorite thing ever. For one thing, I get to order myself. I always order a decaf with skim milk, cold coffee. When you say hold something, it means do not put that in my food. Like if you think spinach is nasty, you say hold the spinach, and then you don't get nasty spinach on your plate. This only works when you go out to eat, though. It doesn't work on moms and dad. They will never, ever, ever hold the spinach. Anyway, I know that when I order a decaf with skim milk, hold coffee, that means I'm not really drinking coffee. I'm just drinking milk. But the coffee shop smells like coffee, and I get to drink out of a coffee mug, so I feel like a real grown-up. Dad and I like to have grown-up talks at the coffee shop. Sometimes we talk about how it can be a little bit hard for me to live in two places. Sometimes we talk about how we'll try to stay out of trouble, so my teacher stopped calling my dad's cell phone and using up his daytime minutes. Today, we are talking about how super sad I was that Eric and I weren't going to be in the same class, and how I was going to be in the class with all girls. Not that I have a problem with girls. After all, I am a girl, right? But I don't like to wear skirts very much or play with dolls. I used to play with them sometimes, when I was really bored, but Brian would make fun of me. So now, when I'm really bored, I just play tic-tac-toe against myself. What do you guys think about wearing skirts or being in class with all girls? Is that cool? Is that fun? I think it's okay. There's another teeny tiny reason why I don't want to be in a class with all girls. If all the second grade girls are in one class, it means Lenny Berry will be in my class for sure. And we don't exactly get along. I think it started when we might have taken her a green crayon. Lenny got mad and she didn't invite me to her birthday party. It was on a Saturday, and she invited all the other girls in our first grade class. So on Monday, they all came to school wearing these necklaces. They got Lenny's birthday party, and I felt really bad that I did not have one. So I call her a bad, awful, horrible name. I call her the bad name 3 times in a row. That's how mad I was about that stupid necklace. And Lenny started to cry. The teacher called my mom, but she was in a meeting, so then the teacher called my dad and used up some more of his daytime minutes. Lenny whispered that she hated me, but the teacher didn't hear. Then I got sent to Mr. Lemon, the timeout teacher, and we had a little mix-up with the jump rope. And that's why I can't be in the same class as Lenny Berry. Well, I was thinking about Lenny. Dad asked, "Remember when you and Eric didn't speak for 3 days last year?" I said I remember. We got in a great big fight because, well, I can't remember why. I remember being really mad, though. I can't remember why we were fighting, I admit it. It was probably because you were spending too much time together, Dad said. Sometimes if you spend all your time with one person, you start to fight about silly things. So maybe if you and Eric are in different classes, you'll be even better friends. Kind of how, like, you and Mom don't yell at each other. Now that you live in Maryland, I asked. Dad gave me a tiny nod, then he smiled, but he looked a little bit sad too. Then he said, "We should probably go home." So I drank the rest of my milk really fast, and I wiped off my milk mustache without being having to. Monday, August 30th, 9 p.m. Tomorrow's the first day of school. Mom, Brian, and I went shopping today. I had to get new uniforms. Our school uniform is green pants or a green shirt with a white button-down shirt. The good thing about uniforms is that you can get an award for wearing your uniform every day. Even if you don't get any other awards like Good Citizen or Most Improved, I also got a cool belt that sparkles. And I also got 2 pairs of shoes. Brian and Mom got in a fight because he wanted shoes that cost $100. Mom said, "Forget it." I said, "I'm not complaining about new things, Mommy. I am just so happy to be shopping with you." And I gave her a big smile. She said, "Well, at least someone is grateful for their new clothes." Then Brian called me a mean name. I got so excited about my new belts and shoes that I almost forgot about Lenny Berry and my all-girls class. Almost. It was taking me a long time to fall asleep. I started thinking again about how I was going not to be in the same class as Eric. I decided I would probably hate second grade. What do you guys think about your second grade experience? Tuesday, August 31st, 10:30 a.m. I love second grade. There's some pink in our classroom, but our other colors too. Our classroom looks really cool. We have 4 computers where we can play math and reading games. We have been beanbag Tuesday, August 31st, 10:30 a.m. I love second grade. There's some pink in our classroom, but there are other colors too. Our classroom looks really cool. We have 4 computers where we can play math and reading games. We have beanbag chairs where we can sit and read books. The beanbags are my second favorite thing about my new class because I need a soft place to sit when I read. Reading at my desk makes my elbows hurt. My favorite thing about second grade is my teacher. Her name is Miss Campbell, and she's wearing a blue shirt and a cool belt with sparkles, just like mine. She let us pick our own seats. I sat far away from Lenny Berry, as Miss Campbell didn't read us a long list of boring rules. She said we get to write the rules for our classroom. Miss Campbell is so cool. This morning, she told us that every morning after we read together, we are going to sit down quietly and write in our journals. Then, she gave each of us a notebook that said journal on the cover. I raised my hand. Yes, Keena. Miss Campbell said, this is a very nice journal you have given me, Miss Campbell. But I already have a journal, I told her. Can I write now instead? I pressed my lips together and waited for her to say that it wouldn't be fair for me to use a different journal than everyone else. But she did it. She said, sure, Keena, that'll be fine. I love second grade. 7:30 p.m. Eric came over after school today. After we talked about our new classes, actually, I did most of the talking. I told him about how Miss Campbell is going to let us make the rules and how she let me use my very own journal, even though it wasn't like the journals that all the other girls had. I told him about everything we did. Then I asked, how was the boy class? Eric looked like he was thinking for a minute. I let him do thinking. I didn't say, hello, I asked you a question, because Mr. Lemon said that is a rude thing to say. Then Eric said, my class was really fun too. It was as fun as your class, maybe even more fun. Miss Hanson let us chew gum in class, and she said we could do all our work with a pen. You get to write with a pen, I shouted. I thought it was against the law to write with a pen in the second grade. I only write with a pen when I do art projects at home, or when I have to write apology letters at home. Eric must be very excited. But Eric didn't look excited. He was looking at the floor beside my left shoe. Then he said he had to go home. It's weird. Wednesday, September 1st, 10:30 a.m. This morning, we wrote our names and birthdays on paper birthday cakes. When we got to color the birthday cakes, we took any color we wanted. My birthday is February 9th. My mom calls me her Valentine because I was born very close to Valentine's Day. But I didn't write my birthday as February 9th. I wrote it a special way with numbers that I learned from Brian. You write a number for the day and a number for the month, and you put a line between the numbers. The day of my birthday is 9, and the month is 2. Because February is the second month of the year, I wrote 9 too. I am lucky to have an older brother who teaches me things. Now we are writing in our journals, and Miss Campbell is hanging up our birthday cakes. She has the names of the months hanging on the walls. She is putting our cakes next to the name of the month of our birthday. Wait, she just taped my cake next to September. Uh-oh. And now she said, excuse me, ladies. I am very excited to report that we have a class birthday tomorrow, September 2nd. Keena 4 will be the first student to wear our special birthday crown. But she looked at me and smiled. Keena, I hope you like chocolate cake, she said. I tried to open my mouth and tell Miss Campbell that there must be some mistake. My birthday is February 9th. But I thought about that birthday crown, and I think about all the cake. I love birthday cake almost as much as I love pudding. Pie. So when I opened my mouth, this was what came out. Yes, Miss Campbell, I love chocolate cake. 8:30 p.m. When Brian came home from school, I wrote down 9 too, and I showed it to him. I said, you told me this says February 9. That says September 2nd, he said. No, I told him. My birthday is on the 9th in February. It's the second month of the year. I know that, smarty pants, Brian said. But in America, you write the month first, then the day. It should look like this. Then he took my pencil and paper and wrote 2-9. I looked at his 2-9, then I looked at my 9-10, and I understood my big mistake. So this is Keena's big mistake. We see, she made a mistake and wrote her birthday in the incorrect format. So let's continue. I think I've gotten myself into some kind of mess. Why are you asking me these dumb questions anyway? Brian wanted to know. I told him it was for my homework. Then I ran to my room really fast. I need to think of a plan to get myself out of trouble. I thought about my big steak for 1 hour. Miss Campbell thinks my birthday is tomorrow, but it's not until February. I didn't mean to lie to Miss Campbell. If I let her keep thinking that my birthday is tomorrow, this is kind of a lie. All I have to do is tell Miss Campbell about the mix-up. I will explain that my birthday is not September 2nd. And if she asks why I didn't tell her before she made a chocolate cake, then I can just tell her that I got confused. I thought about this plan to tell her the truth. Then I come up with another plan. I will just pretend to be sick tomorrow. Thursday, September 2nd, 10:30 a.m. Last night, I coughed a little bit when Mom took me in, just so she might think I was coming down with something. Then this morning, she woke me up. I coughed really, really loud. Mom pretended she didn't hear me. When she turned the lights on, I said, "Could you turn those off? My head is pounding." She said that my breakfast was ready. I guess she wasn't getting the hint that I was trying to be sick, so I said, "I feel just plain awful. I think I have the flu. I can't go to school today." I waited for Mom to say, "I'm sorry, Valentine. What does it hurt? I'll make you some chicken soup." But she didn't. Instead, she said, "Keena, I don't have time for you to be sick all week. If you're really sick, I will take you to the doctor for some shots. Then you will feel better right away. It's probably nothing a few needles can't fix." She looked like she really meant it about the needles. Lying to a teacher is really bad, but getting stuck with needles when I wasn't sick seemed even worse. I got up and put my school shoes on right away. I decided to think of a new plan. When Mom was walking me to school, she kept holding me and looking at me kind of funny. I think my eyes were very big and round because I was thinking so hard about my new plan. When she gave me a kiss at the door to school, she looked at me for a second, and then she said, "Keena, if you start to feel worse, have the school call me. I will take you to the doctor." Then she looked at me funny again. I just nodded with my eyes still big and round. I wanted to shout, "Help! It's not my birthday." But I just said, "Okay, bye, Mommy." My new plan was going to be the same as my first plan, to tell Miss Campbell the truth. But when I got to my classroom, Miss Campbell had the birthday crown sitting on my desk. Oh no. It was purple with silver sparkles and it said "Birthday Girl" in big silver letters. It was so cool. I put the birthday crown on my head. On the one on the side of the chalkboard, Miss Campbell had written with different colored chalk, "Happy Birthday, Keena." Forward. She had drawn 3 balloons. It was the first time I had gotten my name on the board, and it didn't mean that I was in big trouble. I knew I needed to tell Miss Campbell that today wasn't really my birthday. So I raised my hand. I could feel my heart beating really fast. She said, "Yes, Keena." I looked at me with a big smile on her face. She was smiling at me because it was my special day, and all I said was, "I like the balloons on the board, Miss Campbell." Even though I did like the balloons on the board, I felt like a big, fat liar. Now I'm sitting here with this birthday crown on my head, trying to think of what to tell Miss Campbell. I have to tell her the truth before lunch. After lunch, I will see Eric, and he will know it's not my birthday, and he will tell my class, then I'll be in big trouble. 3:30 p.m. I meant to tell Miss Campbell when we were lying for lunch. I had taken off my birthday crown and set it on my desk. When Miss Campbell said, "Keena, are you not going to wear your birthday crown to lunch?" That was what I was going to say. "No, Miss Campbell, I am not going to wear my crown to lunch because it's not really my birthday. My birthday is February 9th. But I didn't say that. I didn't say it because right before Miss Campbell asked about the crown, she had got something out of her little refrigerator right behind her desk, and she had shown it to me. It was a chocolate cake that said "Happy Birthday, Keena," and light purple frosting. That cake looked really delicious. I really, really wanted a piece of that cake. So I told Miss Campbell that I wasn't wearing the crown because I didn't want to get it dirty at recess. It was true that I didn't want the crown to get dirty, but I still felt like a bit fat liar. When we got to lunch, I looked over at the table where Miss Hanson's class was sitting. I was looking for Eric. I knew that if he heard something about the chocolate cake, then everyone would find out it wasn't my birthday. I didn't see Eric at the table. I guess he was in the bathroom. Then I remember Eric had to go to the dentist. He was mad about going because he wouldn't miss lunch at recess. But we have to come back from math. I decided there was no way that Eric would be back before the end of the recess. I also decided no one would know if I was celebrating my birthday a little early, so I raised my hand. "Miss Campbell, can I look at the birthday crown? I think I want to wear it after all." After recess, Miss Campbell announced that we were having a special treat. I knew it was my birthday cake. She called everyone over to the carpet near her desk. All the other girls had to sit, but I got to stand near the cake. Miss Campbell and the class started singing, "Happy birthday to me." Even Lenny. Even Living Barry was singing. I was so excited. I started to kind of believe that it really was my birthday. I had a big smile on my face. I even sang at the end of the song, except instead of singing "Happy Birthday, dear Keena," I sang "Happy Birthday, dear me." I squeezed my eyes shut and opened my mouth really wide. I felt like I was on stage. I sang the last line as loud as I could. "Happy birthday to me." All of a sudden, I realized that I had been singing the end of the song all by myself. Everyone else had stopped singing. I opened my eyes. Miss Campbell and my classmates were looking toward the door. I thought that maybe there was another surprise, like balloons or a pony. So I looked too. There were no balloons in the door. There wasn't a pony there either. Instead, standing in the doorway was my mom. Boy, was I ever surprised. My mom looked surprised too, Miss Campbell said. "Hello, Miss Ford. Did you come to celebrate Keena's birthday today?" My mom stood with her mouth open for a few seconds. She looked at me. I could feel my face getting warm. Then she said to Miss Campbell, "No, I came to see if Keena was feeling better. She said she felt sick this morning and I didn't let her stay home. I wanted to see if she was okay. It looks like she's just fine." She looked at me with her eyebrows raised. When my mom raises her eyebrow, it means that I have some explaining to do. Miss Campbell said, "Oh no, sick on her birthday? I didn't know. She didn't say anything to me." Then my mom said, "May I speak to Keena in the hallway, please?" It took me a long time to walk from Miss Campbell's desk to the classroom door. When I got to the door, my mom took my hand and pulled me in the hallway, then she took my birthday crown off my head. She leaned down really close to my face. "Keena," she said in a loud whisper, "what is going on?" She did not look happy. My face got very, very warm. "Miss Campbell thinks today is my birthday," I said. "I noticed that," my mom said. "I want you to tell me right now why Miss Campbell thinks today is your birthday." Her voice was a little loud this time, and she looked really, really mad. "I wrote the date wrong on my paper cake," I said. I told her how I wrote 9-2 instead of 2-9, so Miss Campbell thought my birthday was September 2nd. I thought Mom might feel sorry for me because I got so confused. She did not. She said, "Keena, when did you first know that Miss Campbell thought your birthday was today?" "Yesterday," I admitted. "Why did you not tell her right away that your birthday is in February?" she asked. I didn't answer for a little while, then I whispered, "Because of the chocolate cake." Mom stared at me. Then she said, "Keena, your teacher spent time making your birthday cake when it wasn't your birthday. Maybe you didn't lie on purpose, but you didn't tell the truth either. I am very disappointed in you." She frowned at me. Then she said something that was even worse than being disappointed. She said, "I want you to go back in that classroom right now and tell your teacher classmates the truth." "Yes, ma'am," I whispered. Then I stood still for a long time. "Now, Keena," she said. We would walk back into the room. All of the other girls were sitting at their desks eating cake. "Your cake is on your desk, Keena," Miss Campbell said. "And we saved the pizza for you, Miss Ford," she told my mom. "Thank you, Miss Campbell, but Keena has something she needs to tell you and the class," my mom said. "Go ahead, Keena." I looked at the floor. "My birthday is February 9, I whispered. "Speak up, Keena," my mom said sternly. I closed my eyes tightly. "My birthday," I said louder, "is February 9th. I opened my eyes and looked at Miss Campbell. She looked at me and then at Mom. "I'm afraid I don't understand," she said. "Keena wrote her birthday backwards," Mom explained. "So you thought her birthday was today. Then she did not tell you the truth. I am very disappointed in her behavior. I am sorry that you went through all that trouble to make a cake." But Mom turned and looked at me. "Keena," she said, "I'm going to have to think about your punishment. I will see you at home." Then she left the classroom. I stood in front of the room alone. I felt very, very small. Miss Campbell took the piece of cake off my desk. She looked very serious. "Keena, I know this started as a numbers mistake, but you should have told me the truth. So you do not get to eat any cake. And you know what else?" I waited for her to send me to Mr. Lemon's time in my classroom, but she didn't. She said, "I think we need a lesson on how to write the date using numbers. Take your seat, Keena." Then Miss Campbell showed us how to use numbers to write the date. Even though I would never, ever forget how to write the date using numbers, I think I'll stick to writing out the name of the month from now on. When I got home, Mom said, Keena, I had decided that you will not be allowed to watch TV or have dessert for 1 week. I also want you to go to your room right after dinner and think about what you did wrong. I nodded. Also, she said, I bought you a bottle of ginger ale, when I thought you were sick, but you lied to me about being sick, so I'm going to give your ginger ale to Brian. I nodded again, but I felt sad. Ginger ale is my favorite drink. I also felt sad because I knew Brian would make fun of me when he heard about my big fat lie. 8 p.m. Brian just came into my room. He was holding the ginger ale bottle. Mom told me about your fake birthday, he said. That was really dumb, Keena. I know, I said. I was wondering why you were asking me all those questions. Brian was smiling like he was about to laugh at me. I felt my face get warm again. Then Brian said, Sorry you got so confused. He set the ginger ale bottle on my bedside table. You can have that if you want, he said. Then he started walking out of the room. Don't tell Mom, he said over his shoulder. Thanks, Brian, I said, but I don't think he heard me. So I got a piece of white paper and some crayons out of my art box. I drew a tall boy wearing shorts and a t-shirt. Best brother, I wrote in big letters. Even though I wasn't supposed to leave my room, I tiptoed into the hallway. Brian's door was closed. I slid the paper under his door and ran back to my room. I looked at the ginger ale. It felt like a birthday present. I put the bottle in the drawer and jumped into my bed. Friday, September 3rd, 10:30 a.m. This morning, I didn't want to go to school. I thought Miss Campbell hated me for sure. But when I got to the classroom, she just smiled and said, Good morning, Keena. Like I was no big fat liar. So I felt better. While Miss Campbell was still in the hall saying good morning to the students, Tiffany Harris came into the room. You don't even know your own birthday, she said in a very mean voice. Are you going to say today's your birthday too? But she stuck her tongue out at me. I was about to call her a mean name when Lenny Berry said, It's not nice to tease someone who made a mistake. So just close your mouth, Tiffany. I looked at Lenny. Thank you, I said. But she looked away. I guess she still hates me. Maybe she just hates Tiffany even more. After all the girls were sitting at their desks, Miss Campbell said, I think today is a good day to make a list of rules for our classroom. You are going to work with the partner to come up with some ideas for class rules. Then you will share your list with the class. Guess who said they had to be my partner? Lenny Berry. Lenny moved her chair near my desk, and we both looked at our knees for about a minute. Then I looked at Lenny. I said in my quiet voice, maybe we should make a rule that you should not take someone's green crayon, even if you don't mean to. Lenny said, That's a good rule, Keena. Then she said, I'm sorry I didn't invite you to my birthday party. I said, I'm sorry I called you a bad name 3 times. But Lenny said, maybe we should make a rule that you shouldn't call anyone a very bad name. I told her that was a good rule, and Miss Campbell thought we had good rules too. Although she didn't understand about the green crayons. She said we shouldn't take someone else's crayon of any color. Lenny smiled at me when she said that. I think we are going to be friends. I think Friday is my lucky day. 1:30 p.m. Friday is the most terrible day in the whole wide world. I am in town out with Mr. Lemon. 4:30 p.m. Here's what happened. When we went outside to play after lunch, Miss Hanson was outside with the boy class. I saw Eric waiting for me at the monkey bars. That is our favorite place to play. But then Lenny Berry said, Hey, do you want to play on the slide? I decided I should probably play with Lenny so she would be my friend for sure. So I said yes. Lenny and I started taking turns on the slide. When we're sliding pretty fast, Lenny said, Hey, watch this. She went down the slide head first. I was about to go down the slide head first too, when I heard Miss Campbell say, Lenny Berry, that is not safe. Please have a seat. I said that going down the slide first wasn't such a good idea if it meant I had to go sit down. So I went over to the monkey bar and I started talking to Eric. I told him that Lenny Berry and I were going to be friends. I told him all about our class rules and how Lenny said she was sorry that she didn't invite me to our birthday party. I thought Eric would be very excited. But Eric didn't look excited. He said, Oh yeah? Well, Miss Hanson said that we don't have to follow any rules. And she said that she made a pudding pie for us. She said she was going to make a pudding pie for us every day. I was so amazed. Pudding pie every day? I wish you could be in your class when you're eating pudding pie, I said to Eric. Well, too bad for you, he said in a kind of mean way. But I didn't say anything back. I could only think about that pudding pie. When I eat pudding pie, I like to drink milk. The last time my mom made pudding pie, I drank 3 glasses of milk. They brought all of the milk really made me have to go to the bathroom really bad. So I asked Miss Campbell if I could go inside and go to the bathroom. I waited for her to say, "No, Keena, we will start with the bathroom on our way back to class." But she didn't. She said, "Sure, Keena, that'll be fine." So I went to the bathroom. After I went to the bathroom, I think I was supposed to go right back outside. But I didn't. I went into Miss Hanson's room. I was walking by her door when I noticed that there was a very sharp pencil on every desk. Why did they have pencils? They were supposed to be writing in pen. So I walked into the classroom to look for pens. I didn't see pens anywhere. I did see a big long list of rules taped to the wall. Just then I heard the bell ring. I knew I should run back outside, or at least get out of Miss Hanson's classroom, but I didn't. I need to look for one more thing. I looked for pudding pie. I looked on a table on the front of the room. There was no pudding pie. I didn't see pudding pie on the bookshelf, so I walked to the back of the room where Miss Hanson's desk faced the door. That's when I heard a lot of feet outside the door. Miss Hanson's class was back, and that's when I crawled under Mrs. Hanson's desk. I folded my knees up near my shoulders and tried to breathe very, very quietly. I could hear my heart beating loud and heavily like a stamping foot. Then I heard people coming into the classroom. Miss Hanson said, "Frederick, do not come into this classroom chewing gum." Rules, pencils, and no gum. Right then I knew that there was no pudding pie. Eric had made it all up. All of that stuff. Why would he do that? I heard chairs scraping against the floor as the boys sat down. I started to plan my escape. Maybe they would go to the bathroom and I could run back into the girls' bathroom. Then I could tell Miss Campbell that I had been feeling really sick. It seemed like a good plan. Miss Hanson said, "Remember that you're not going to read silently for 10 minutes. Absolutely no talking." 10 minutes? Maybe we would go to the bathroom after that. I heard Miss Hanson's shoes clicking on the floor. The clicking was getting louder. I thought about all the movies I had seen where a person is hiding. The person looking for them walks right by but doesn't spot them. And then everyone thinks, "Whew, that was close." But this wasn't a movie. The clicking was getting even louder. Miss Hanson just started to move. Then she sat in it. I could see her knees on the bottom and part of her legs. Her legs were crossed. One foot was on the floor and the other foot was swinging back and forth slowly. Every time she would swing her foot, it would get a little bit closer to my face. And then Miss Hanson kicked me. Right in the side of the head, she said, "Yo!" And Miss Hanson said, "What?" Then she pushed her chair away from her desk and saw me. And she said, "Ugh." I think I startled her. But she got over it pretty fast. The next thing she said was, "Who are you and what are you doing under my desk?" I scrambled out from under that desk as fast as I could. I stood up and then I tried to say, "I'm Keena Ford," but I couldn't say anything. I could feel my face getting very, very warm. And my eyes started to get a little bit wet. And my lips started to wobble. I heard a boy's voice say loudly, "That's Keena. She's in Miss Campbell's class." I knew the voice was Eric's. Miss Hanson looked at Eric. Then she looked back at me. She said, "Eric, go get Miss Campbell." Miss Campbell must have been in the hallway at the water fountains because she came to Miss Hanson's room in about 3 seconds. My whole class must have been in the hallway too, because they all crowded in the doorway of Miss Hanson's room. "Miss Campbell," Miss Hanson said, "I have just found one of your students under my desk." Miss Campbell looked at me. She opened her mouth wide like she was at the dentist. I think it was from surprise. Then she said, "Keena Ford, what on earth are you doing under Miss Hanson's desk?" She moved her eyebrows close together to make an angry face, but her lips were pressed together like she was trying not to smile. Even though Miss Campbell didn't look that mad, I still couldn't talk. I heard Eric's voice again. He sounded much quieter this time. "I know what Keena was doing," he said. "She wanted to see our class because she thought it was maybe more fun than her class. Because I told her that it was. She said she wished she could be in our class." I looked back at Miss Campbell. Now she definitely wasn't smiling. Her face looked like it had fallen down a little bit. Her shoulders dropped down too. She looked just like Brian when he didn't make the baseball team. She looked sad and disappointed. I wanted to tell Miss Campbell that I thought she was the greatest teacher ever. I wanted to tell her our class was the most fun. But my lips started to wobble even more, and the tears started to fall down my face. I couldn't say anything at all. Miss Campbell sent me to Mr. Lemon right away. She would send a very long note with me. It was much longer than the notes I got last year, but it was always said, Keena to Miss Lemon's room, not following direction. Miss Lemon read every single word of the long note. Then he looked at me. What Miss For, he said, I suppose you must first write an apology to Miss Hanson. So I did. I sat down at my usual desk and wrote, Dear Miss Hanson, I am sorry that I was snooping around your classroom. I am also sorry that I hid under your desk, and I am very sorry that my face got in the way of your pointy shoe. Love, Keena Ford. I drew a sad face next to my name so she knew I was very sorry, and then I gave the letter to Mr. Lemon. He said, I suppose now you must write an apology to Miss Campbell for not following directions. My eyes got wet again. Miss Campbell Bell hates me now, I said. I hurt her feelings. Miss Lemon asked me what I was talking about. I told him how Herrick said that. I had wished I was in Miss Hanson's class. I said it. I told Mr. Lemon, but that's not what I meant. I meant I just wanted to be in red class for the pudding pie. I told Mr. Lemon that I love my class and I didn't mean it to make my teacher sad. Well, Miss Ford, said Mr. Lemon, I suppose you can explain yourself to Miss Campbell in your letter. That is, I wrote, Dear Miss Campbell, I am sorry that I broke the rules by sneaking into Miss Hanson's room and hiding under her desk. I am also very, very sorry to have hurt your feelings. I don't think Miss Hanson's class is more formal than ours. I think you're the very best teacher in the whole wide world. I love you very much. I hope you forgive me. Love, Keena Ford. Next to my name, I drew a really sad face with 2 tears coming out of the eyes. Then I drew a broken heart. I showed my note to Mr. Lemon, then I started to talk. Sometimes when I had to go to Mr. Lemon's class, all my thoughts came out. I told him that Lenny Berry and I were going to be friends again. I told him about how Eric had lied to me about Miss Hanson's class. I said I didn't understand why Eric would make up all of those stories. Miss Lemon said, Well, Miss Ford, has anyone ever gotten to do something that you wanted to do but couldn't? I said, yeah. I said, everyone got to go to Lenny's birthday party but me. And how did that make you feel? Mr. Lemon asked. Jealous, I told him. So how do you think Eric feels about you, your very exciting class, and your new friendship with Lenny Berry? I only had to think for about 3 seconds. Jealous, I said again. Then I asked Mr. Lemon if I could write one more note. Dear Eric, I wrote, I am sorry if I made you feel jealous about my teacher. I am also very sorry if I made you feel jealous of Lenny Berry. You are still my very best friend. Love, Keena Ford. Next to my name, I drew a boy and a girl smiling. I wrote E on the boy's shirt and K on the girl's shirt. Then I wrote, best friends. I showed my letter to Mr. Lemon. He said I could go back to class. I gave my letters to Miss Hanson and Miss Campbell. Then I tried to be very quiet for the rest of the day. When the bell rang, I tried to get out of the classroom as fast as I could, but I ran right into Miss Hanson in the hallway. She looked down at me. She looked very, very serious. Keena, she said, you should not have gone to my classroom and hid under my desk. But thank you for the apology. I think you have learned your lesson. Then she smiled. I nodded my head. Yes, ma'am, I said. It will never happen again. Then I heard Miss Campbell calling me from the classroom. Keena, please come back here for a moment, she said. I walked back in the classroom. I just wanted to give you this, Miss Campbell said. She handed me a piece of paper that was folded in half. Thank you, I whispered. I could tell it was a letter, and I knew that what it said. It said that Miss Campbell tried to love me, but she couldn't because I had done 2 very bad things. I had pretended it was my birthday when it really wasn't, and I had said I wanted to be in Miss Hanson's class. I put the letter in my backpack. I decided to wait until I got home to read it because I didn't want Miss Campbell to see me cry again. Eric and his 5th grade name, Lamont, were waiting for me by the front door of the school. We were always supposed to walk home together. I was going to tell Eric that I was sorry, but I just handed him his note instead. He didn't open it. We didn't talk the whole way home. Even though it was only 2 blocks, I felt like the time when we didn't speak for 3 whole days. As soon as I got home, I went to my room. I got Miss Campbell's letter out of my backpack and I started to read. Dear Keena, it said, I forgive you. It is always good to say you're sorry when you make a mistake. Please remember the rules next time. I know you will try. Love, Miss Campbell. And next to her name, she drew a smiley face. A smiley face meant that Miss Campbell didn't hate me after all. Right then, I made a plan. The next time Miss Campbell said, good morning, Keena, I wasn't just going to say good morning. I was going to give her a great big hug. 8 p.m. Eric came by after dinner. He said, thanks for the note. Then he said, sorry I lied about my classroom. It's okay, I told him. Then Eric said that maybe we should fix up the homework hut after all. Even if we didn't have the same homework, we both still needed a quiet place to work. So I thought that was a smart idea. I ran to my room and got my art box. Eric and I went on the balcony and uncovered the homework hut. We prepared the letters so they said homework hut again. We blew on the letters to help them dry until we got kind of dizzy before we put the cover back on the homework hut. We sat inside it just to test it out. Then I said, maybe we should make some rules for the homework hut. The first rule in the homework hut, I said, is where you can chew gum. And the second rule, said Eric, is that you can write in pen. Saturday, September 4th, 11:30 a.m. It is Saturday. Brian is in D.C. practicing for basketball tries already, and I'm at Dad's house. This morning when Dad picked me up, he asked Mom, how was Keena's first week of second grade? Second grade. My heart started to beat fast while I waited for my mom to answer. She put her arm around me and gave a squeeze. I think Keena has already learned quite a lot in second grade, Mom said. She smiled at Dad and then at me. I'll let her tell you all about it. I smiled back at Mom and she gave me a very big hug. Have a good weekend, Valentine, she said. Dad and I walked outside to his car. I can't wait to hear all about second grade, he said. I told him we should probably go out for coffee. It's going to be a long story, I said. The end.